future, shattered dreams, end of times ain't what it seems.
Hello, friends. This is Sam Chaney reporting for Weaponized News. Today, June 25th, 2026. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday edition of Weaponized News. We have Ruckus on the line joining us riding shotgun today to go through all the news for you. We won't leave them hanging there too long. Let me give you the hooks of the show. We got a bunch of antiseptic behavior to report. It's outrageous. Has QAnon, to differentiate between Q, the anonymous Riddler, and QAnon, the anonymous followers, has QAnon finally had enough of Trump? Take a look at an article about that. America 250, all the hoopla. We're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at J.D. Vance playing the good cop, the sane one in the room. Of course, he's just playing that role. He is Mr. Technocracy. Never forget it. But we'll take a look at J.D. Vance. He's a millennial, bro. And he says the IRGC and CENTCOM are going to hang out together in Doha. So it's just so ridiculous, but we'll show you those reports. What else? We got a bunch of economic news, a bunch of this America 250 nonsense. We can't even afford groceries out here, bro. And you're doing flyovers and how wonderful it all is. It's we'll take a look at the Supreme Court. Came out with a couple rulings, a major blow against public health, real public health, as they ruled in favor of Monsanto. We'll take a look at that ruling, some immigration rulings, this giant earthquake, two actually giant earthquakes that hit Venezuela. We're going to take a look at that. Quite an amount of devastation in Venezuela due to these earthquakes. Tragically enough, they weren't already suffering enough from America stealing their oil and gold. Now they're hit with an earthquake. We'll take a look at that. What else? A bunch of geopolitical news. And yeah, how are we going to have peace with Iran? Aardvark Land's bombing the hell out of Lebanon. Like right now as we speak, they're just off the hook, man. They're off the freaking hook. Bloodthirsty maniacs. We'll cover all the latest there. The genocide in Lebanon continues. The genocide in Gaza continues. Tragically enough. And they're all saying what it just came out a couple hours ago. What are they saying? They're basically saying F you, Trump. Aardvark Land Ministry of Energy dude Eli Cohen on Aardvark Channel 14 News says even if Trump asked us to withdraw, we'll tell him no. And they're all saying it. Katz, Bibby, the whole crew. They're throwing this guy in, Eli Cohen. It's just beyond ridiculous here now. We'll take a look at all of these details. I just don't see how this Iran peace deal is going to stick when you got the bloodthirsty aardvarks massacring people on a daily basis. All right, let's get to this day in history and bring on Ruckus and get to all of the good news for you. All right, we go back to the year, on this day of June 25th, we go back to the year 1096. The First Crusade slaughtered a bunch of aardvarks there in Germany because they were drinking children's blood and poisoning the wells. That's a la Bibby. 1630, on this day, fork introduced to American dining by Governor Winthrop. The fork, an essential dining utensil. 1749, on this day, general fast because of drought in Massachusetts. And you'll notice many of the, quote, alternative medias out there are selling all these different health potions, products, supplements. We don't do that here at Weaponized News. Only health advice we can offer you, which is all free, is to fast and pray, as they did in 1749 Massachusetts due to a drought. 1867 on this day, we saw barbed wire. Barbed wire is patented by Lucien B. Smith of Ohio. The next year, 1868, Florida, Alabama, Louisiana, Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina are readmitted to the Union of United States of America after the Civil War. Also in 1868, then U.S. President Andrew Johnson signs a law establishing an 8-hour workday for government workers. They should abolish the government. It's a crime syndicate. Continuing here, 1876, on this day, we saw the Battle of Little Bighorn. Battle of Little Bighorn, U.S. 7th Cavalry under Custer, right? Under Major General George Armstrong Custer is wiped out by Sioux and Cheyenne warriors led by Crazy Horse and Sitting Bull in what becomes famously known as Custer's Last Stand. On this day in 1919, we saw the Spartacus Revolt in Hamburg. On this day in 1938, U.S. federal minimum wage law guarantees workers 25 cents per hour, raising to 40 cents by 1945, and a minimum 44-hour working week. That was good of the feds there. Today, they're talking about introducing legislation through the Senate to raise minimum wage to $25 an hour. So you can raise the minimum wage to $1 million an hour. It still doesn't fix the fundamental broken fiat debt-based monetary system we find ourselves in now, does it? 1950, on this day, we saw the Korean War begin. North Korea invades South Korea, beginning the Korean War on this day, 1950. Yeah, who cares if you can't afford to eat? We had color television first broadcast in 1951. And so that's really all that matters here in America, is if you have a color television. 1951, first color television broadcast by then CBS, now known as ZBS. 1976, great film. Everybody should check it out. The Omen, the original Omen. I think they remade it. The remake was okay, but the original with Gregory Peck, The Omen, released on this day, 1976. On this day, 1978, we saw the first use of the rainbow flag, symbol of gay pride, made by Gilbert Baker at a march in San Francisco. And now there's reports, I forget even who playing, but 2 Muslim countries, Egypt and somebody else, and FIFA's telling them they have to wear the rainbows and promote all the Pride Month. And it's like, what? Yeah, but that's how they roll. You're not converting the Muslims to celebrate Pride Month. I'm sorry to report to you here, but the efforts continue. On this day, 1982, Blade Runner, another very ahead of its time, but predictive programming perhaps for where we are now. Blade Runner released on this day in 1982, the original Blade Runner. They remake all these films. The originals are always the best. And back the older ones, when they actually used real, they didn't have computer generated images, AI, and all this. It was real special effects. So a lot higher quality, in my opinion. Blade Runner released on this day, 1982. 1984 on this day, Purple Rain by Prince album was released, 1984. And then 2000, I don't know how I missed this, but I had it queued up. Give me a second. 2021 on this day, we saw Tedros of the World Health Organization confirm the new bat variant Delta. And so we do appreciate all of the scariants out there and the World Health Organization keeping us safe from the bats. On this day in our civil liberties history, we go back to the year 1910. Congress passes Mann Act to combat white slavery. Congress on this day passed the White Slavery Act, popularly known as the Mann Act, to fight interstate prostitution. The law made it a crime to transport across state lines any woman or girl for the purposes of prostitution or debauchery or for any other immoral purpose. Wow, why don't they enforce this law? Who cares, right? Who cares? Because we've had more arrests at the reflecting pool than we have for Epstein co-conspirators. So literally, the government doesn't care. 1974, on this day, Supreme Court rejects taxpayer challenge to CIA secrecy. The 1949 Central Intelligence Act, passed on June 20th, 1949, granted secrecy to the CIA's finances by specifically exempting them from the financial disclosure requirement in Article 1, Section 9 of the United States Constitution. I don't know what could go wrong. They just have a black budget for spying. What could possibly go wrong? And other covert actions. William Richardson, an insurance claims adjuster, first filed a taxpayer's suit challenging the law in 1968. The suit failed, but he tried again in 1972. The case reached the Supreme Court in United States versus Richardson. Decided on this day, the court held that he lacked standing. They love that one. But you're spying on me, bro. You ruined my life. You told my neighbors all this, all kind of lies about me and so on. You ran COINTELPRO operations against me, bro. You know what I mean? You don't have standing. The court held that he didn't have standing to bring the suit. Justice Douglas, Brennan, Stewart, and Marshall dissented. As a result, the official secrecy of CIA operations and expenditures remains in effect to this day. And so that's very good of them to just flush the money down a black hole of fraud, corruption, money laundering, covering up for international sex trading of children, and so on and so forth. International arms dealings, international money laundering dealings, international drug dealings, and go down the list of illegal activities conducted by the CIA through a black budget that the taxpayers funding all of this insanity have no access to. That's America 250. And on this day in 2009, in our civil liberties history, no strip searches in middle school students. The Supreme Court ruled in Sanford Unified School District versus Reading on this day that a strip search of a middle school female violated the Fourth Amendment prohibition of unreasonable searches and seizures. Now they love it. They love touching little kids, i.e. the Epstein administration. Okay, here's our segue to the news. Christian Zionist pastor Jensen Franklin prays for America yesterday at the Great American State Fair, America 250. Let's listen to this traitor.
God breathed life into this nation, and he's not done yet. And we're here to acknowledge again that God is still real. He loves this nation, and he hears and answers prayer. Would you pray with me for America? Lord, we come again on this 250th birthday, and we thank you for this nation. We thank you, oh God, for your faithfulness throughout all the generations. And we thank you because you have brought us to this moment for such a time as this. Please breathe on America again. Lord, let your grace begin to cover this nation like never before. We thank you, oh God, for freedom of religion. We thank you that all religions have a right to worship as they desire. But we also thank you for our Christian roots, oh God, in this nation. And we thank you for the cross. And we thank you for the word of God. And we thank you for freedom. So bless this nation. And let your grace flow from sea to shining sea. Oh God, we thank you that your grace is sufficient for every challenge. Touch our president, touch his cabinet, bless our Supreme Court, bless our Congress, and bless our Senate. And Lord, I pray thy kingdom come and thy will be done. Bless our young people, bless our children and our children's children. And lastly, oh God, we ask you to send revival to the churches across America until there is a proclamation. Let freedom ring from addiction, from fear, from anxiety, and from shame and guilt because of what you have provided through grace and through your salvation. In your mighty name we pray. Amen.
I can't hear you, Sam. I'll reconnect here in a second.
Mute on. I said, how you doing this?
Oh,
isn't that bad?
Hey, there you go. Yes, everything's wonderful. That was a wonderful display right there, and that's what it was, a display. Nothing screams sincerity and public prayer to Almighty God like a choreographed choir singing along behind you in the background. That was fantastic. What a production. Bravo. Yeah. Anyways, God bless America, Sam. How are you?
That pastor is on the Aardvark Land Allies Foundation. He's named as a top 50 Christian ally to Aardvark Land.
Maybe he should be blessing Aardvark Land then, or maybe he should switch teams and start, playing for America. Yeah.
Let's remind everybody, Ruckus, here it is. Palestinian children deliberately targeted by Aardvark Land in ongoing genocide, says UN report that came out on Tuesday.
Isn't that great? We're past the point of arguing about whether or not it's a genocide. Now we're going to argue about whether or not the kids were targeted intentionally during the genocide. Things move fast in this world.
Here's Tucker, or here's Ted Cruz on Tucker. Tucker Carlson has said there's nobody on planet Earth he hates more than Christian Zionists.
I believe this is truly an existential threat. Why is that? Because anti-Semitism is the gateway drug to anti-capitalism and anti-Americanism. And you can see the Green-Red Alliance with Comrade Mondami in New York City, where the Islamists and communists come together because they both hate the same people, and spoiler alert, those people is us. Tucker Carlson has said there's nobody on planet Earth he hates more than Christian Zionists. And he named in particular, the two people he hates most on planet Earth are me and Mike Huckabee. And you know what? I wear his scorn with pride. Because I am proud to stand with Israel.
There you go, Senator Ted Cruz. I don't know if I would use the word hate. It's pretty strong, but I seriously, I do hate MAGA at this point, and the Christian Zionists. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are pissing me off to the point I hate your guts, too. What do you think about that? Ted Cruz's claim that Tucker Carlson hates the Christian Zionists.
Well, sorry about my audio issue. This probably sounds much better now that it's the right microphone and the dog's not barking. Anyways, so let me get this straight. So Ted Cruz says that Tucker Carlson says, is this news? Is this politics? Or is this like the playground during like 5th or 6th grade middle school? Like, what is this classroom drama, gossipy telephone game stuff? Did Tucker Carlson truly say that? Or is Ted Cruz just saying that he said that and kind of putting words in Tucker Carlson's mouth?
He says the two people he hates the most on planet Earth are me, Ted Cruz, and Mike Huckabee.
That's again Ted Cruz saying that.
Mm-hmm.
So where's the clip of Tucker Carlson saying this?
I don't have that. I just have Ted Cruz's.
Does it exist?
I don't know. Probably.
Well, I don't know about that.
Okay, we got off to a rough start. This will help bring us back into focus. Kash Patel's girlfriend, Alexis Wilkins, singing at the Great American Fair yesterday. Nobody, they couldn't even get Milli Vanilli to perform because Trump is so toxic, but they do get FBI Director Kash Patel's girlfriend. Marcus, I had to check a couple times because I saw people posting this. I was like, that's not real. It's freaking real. That's Kash Patel's girlfriend. That's the only person, the only quote artist they could even get to perform there. And Lee Greenwood, bless his heart.
And she's known for being a performing musical artist, correct?
Allegedly. She's a country singer, they say.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Well, let's just say she's never hit my music algorithms ever. But what did hit my feed the other day was a picture of her posing with Kash Patel at some sort of family gathering, and Kash Patel was proudly displaying his badge, but not wearing a sidearm, which, of course, is, just talk to people in law enforcement and see what they think about that kind of thing right there. Anyway.
Here's Trump at the celebration yesterday, acting buffoonish. So is Trump the first openly gay U.S. president, Ruckus?
No, because he's not open about it.
Oh.
But a lot of folks who are very close, that are tight with him, as the expression goes, are openly gay. But anyways, not that there's anything necessarily wrong with that. You decide, buyer beware, do your own research, yada, yada. What was it, that cringy, like lounge lizard style cheesy, and I mean cheesy, who was doing the singing of that terrible rendition of YMCA? That's what I want to know. That was outrageous.
It's some type
if I was gay, I suggest the LGBT rights group should be like outraged over that what they did. They murdered that song right there, Sam.
It's the military, some type of army. I don't know exactly who, but some type of military band.
It's funny because actually
that's the only band he can get to perform are people that have to follow his orders by freaking a contract they signed. You know what I mean?
I know it's showing. It's like these are the teachers' pets, the brown nosers, the bottom of the barrel, the only ones who are willing to do it. And it's probably because they don't even like the guy either, but they're just like, oh look, I'm in the spotlight. They're shallow, disgusting people, and these are the people he's surrounded himself with. This is amazing.
That's a great segue. That's a great segue here to Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary. He's also an actor. He's a reality TV show guy and was on Fox News before the reality TV show on freaking MTV. All these people are freaking actors. Here he is, uniting America at America 250, saying that he says the musicians who pulled out of Freedom 250 are libtards. Here it is. Like, wow.
Okay, to start this off, I think we have to give a big round of applause for our military band and singers. Way better than those libtards that canceled on us. So much better.
So unifying from the Trump administration for America 250, calling the music. I think the musicians are actually smart. They don't want their career ruined through the toxicity of Trump.
And the dude just publicly insulted the military band by literally more than implying, hey, the only reason these D-bags behind me are even here is because the other D-bags canceled on us. How do they feel, right? Wow. It's so crass, this administration, and ridiculous and rude. This is terrible.
Look at
friend and
this.
colleague Patrick Henningsen is right. He insists that Donald Trump and his administration will go down as the worst in American history, and I'm afraid he's probably right.
Look at this one, Ruckus. The crowd leaving as Trump is speaking at America 250 opening ceremonies last night. Look at this. You can hear Trump in the background, and people are just like, whatever, dude, I'm out.
Now the largest producer of oil and gas on earth, larger than Russia and Saudi Arabia by far combined. And under my most favored nation agreement on drug prices, we are delivering the largest reduction in drug price history with price differences of 400, 500, and even 600%.
Buy your Ozempic from TrumpRx.gov because he can't afford groceries because he's destroyed the economy.
Those people were only there anyways to just get their selfie shots and say, I was there, and wear their MAGA hats, and then they get home, take all that crap off, wash themselves down, and then go grift on their social media accounts. It's the only way to stay popular or get clicks. You got to play along with this shit. It's really stupid. I don't play along with it. That's why like 3 people see my posts. You're one of them.
The Bulwark put out a post on their Substack. Even QAnon hates Trump now. Is this true? Is this true, Ruckus? Does even QAnon hate Trump now?
Probably. You played a clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene that I found interesting a couple days ago, where she was letting people know the inside scoop about how Trump felt about Q during his first administration, if I'm not mistaken. And actually, during that time, you said something excellent. I was hoping you would clip it. You didn't, so I'm going to hunt it down and clip it. But you had you nailed it. You said something really important about breaking the spell about that Q-tard stuff. So I'm going to clip that out, and I'll blast that and we'll make it go viral. I'll send it to you, post it on your feeds and stuff. Cool.
It'll be banned. Okay. This article says goes on to say aggravated QAnoners accused Trump of Q baiting, which he was doing. The administration launched a bizarre QAnon-themed social media campaign this week. We showed the post here, using QAnon slogans like "Trust the Plan" and even a fake Q post to promote Trump executive orders on quantum computing. Here's those posts. Where we go one, we go quantum. One. I don't know why they still call it. It's the Department of War. Department of War account posted on X. I think we showed that one. A clear play on the QAnon motto: where we go one, we go all. So, And then they talk about here as well, they're blowing, I don't know, through incompetence, through corruption, they're blowing the prosecution of the Southern Poverty Law Center here now, the Trump administration. The Justice Department's prosecution of the Southern Poverty Law Center has already hit multiple roadblocks. First, acting Attorney General Todd Blanche was forced to correct a false statement he made about the case on Fox News. Then prosecutors admitted that a Justice Department staffer erred by emailing a then confidential superseding indictment to reporters before it was unsealed in the court document. Now there's another interesting wrinkle in the case, the revelation that an FBI memo that launched the investigation contains identical passages to a letter Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk and other conservative groups wrote to Trump advisor Stephen Miller containing complaints about the Southern Poverty Law Center. That letter to Miller came in September of last year, a month before the FBI memo, raising more questions about how much conservative groups are directing the Trump administration. They're saying it was word for word from that memo in the FBI's memo from the quote conservative group's letter. So they're copying and paste from Turning Point and these other conservative group into FBI memo about the Southern Poverty Law Center. So they're blowing
lie center.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They're blowing this indictment of the Southern Poverty Law Center.
You had one job. No, they had a lot of jobs, and they've blown quite enough. How are we doing on the mass deportation? How'd that audit of Fort Knox go? How are we doing on releasing the Epstein files? Yada, 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 right?
More from...
By the way, I have to officially settle a debate that's raging right now in the chat room. I apologize for saying that there's a possibility that Trump could go down in history as the worst president. We have to wait and see, right? We have to wait till his second term finishes. And somebody's saying, oh, it's Biden. And somebody eventually is going to say, no, it was this guy. No, technically, officially, y'all should remember this from class. Officially, the worst president in the United States history was, do you know, Sam? It's James Buchanan.
It's Martin Van Buren because he's the only one not part of the bloodline.
Now, stop. But no, I think officially on record, according to historians and the mainstream narrative, it's Buchanan, James Buchanan.
I'm saying it's Martin Van Buren because he's not part of the Illuminati bloodline.
I know what you're saying there. I see what you're doing. But there's zero chance, Sam. Zero chance.
Zero chance. And they show the comparison between the letters in this article, and so it's just more ridiculousness, honestly, which the whole and it looks like Epstein and Steve Bannon and the 8chan 4chan guys were all working together, and they're the ones that actually rolled out Q.
Yep. What was that? What's the name of that communist tactic too? That it's basically the stand down.
It's Operation Promise.
Operation Promise. I love it. It's Operation Trust the Plan.
Or was it Operation Trust? Now I forget. It's one of those. Yeah, it's a pacification stand down psyop.
Same one. There. Pacification stand down. Thank you. That was the term.
Pacification stand down psyop. Same one they run on Christian Zionists that are praying for the apocalypse. They say we don't have to do anything. We just sit here and pray for the end of the world, and it's going to come about. And so, therefore, we're doing our Christian duties.
To a certain degree, voting somebody into office because you think they're going to solve your problems for you and or do all the things they promised on the campaign trail, especially within the broken two-party system, is also very similar to a pacification, stand-down, distraction, psyop. Yeah, hey.
Even the UAE is sick of Trump. They say we got played. UAE publicly turns against Trump after the Iran war shatters confidence. Today, Washington Compost reported President Trump's popularity in the United Arab Emirates has sharply declined following the Iran war, with business leaders, analysts, and residents saying his decision to launch the war undermined the stability they expected from his administration. Many had initially welcomed Trump as a pro-business leader and a no-war president, but said the conflict and its consequences fundamentally changed their view of him. Well, he said he's the king of Aardvark land his first term, so everybody, but most missed that, apparently. Most missed that, Ruckus.
People have this nasty habit of doing that occasionally. Thank God it's only occasionally, right? Yeah.
They quote this Dubai businessman, Omar al-Basadi. He said, "I had high hopes, but concluded we got played," adding that Trump either miscalculated or misread the situation and lost the trust of much of the business community.
There's that trust thing again.
There's some more for Tucker claiming MAGA is dead. Is MAGA dead? I don't know. Let's see. Trump's jokes and all his insults, they don't hit like they used to. And calling the music artists that don't want to perform libtards, like, I know that wasn't Trump, but that it speaks to his administration, who he's appointing. Sorry about that. I have to, let me just explain to the audience. Sometimes we have these hiccups because I have to mute it when I do share screen, or when Ruckus talks, we get an echo feedback. Anyhow, that's why sometimes we have these hiccups.
Where this leaves the future of the MAGA movement. I mean,
the future of the MAGA. Well, that's over. There's no future of the MAGA movement. Obviously, we're done.
This war caused the end.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, what is the MAGA movement? Trump has defined it as whatever he wants. Well, it's not a movement. That's a tick. That's a preference. It's like, what do I feel like having for breakfast this morning? Well, today it's, the pancake movement. It'll be Eggs Benedict movement tomorrow. Like, it's not a movement. It's just like it's a desire.
But you believed in it.
Well, I never understood what it was. No, I never believed in MAGA. I believe in making America great again. I certainly believe in its literal definition, but its operational definition was never clear. What I believe in is putting your country first. If you're leading your country, of course, its concerns are at the top of.
We drained the swamp. We got rid of all the corrupt politicians. No, now MAGA cheers on the corrupt establishment. Like,
This is crazy. This is very similar to the Antifa thing. Now, hear me out, right? So the Antifa is like, nobody wants to be associated with that group, which isn't really a group.
You shouldn't, because if you are, the feds threw the book at those guys and gave them 100 freaking years and 70 years and 50 year sentence. They threw the book at those guys, man.
Those people, yes, who were engaged in some sort of thing. But I'm just saying that they conceptualize this thing, but Antifa means anti-fascist. So most of us who can rightly say, oh, yeah, no, we're not, nobody's can say that they're not anti-fascist unless they're diehard pro-fascist, right? So it's like this tricky thing, but you don't want to be
Supreme
associated
Court
with
is
group.
pro IG Farben, Bayer, Monsanto, so.
True. Now, the same thing is what Tucker's doing with the MAGA. He's like, oh, no, I'm not MAGA, but MAGA literally stands for Making America Great Again. But he's like, but I do believe in making America great again, but I don't believe in MAGA. You see what I mean? It's the exact same thing. I'm just trying to point out the weird semantics and the idea around it. So don't worry, when Gavin Newsom and Michelle Obama, or change her name to Mike Obama or whatever, and they're on the ticket and they take over for the next round, I assure you that, yes, the feds will throw the book at the MAGA crowd just the same way they threw the book at the Antifa crowd. It just, this switches. See, that's the way this works. Aren't you paying attention, people? Anyway.
And we're still not going to get the Epstein files.
Well, I breaking news. A judge says, just hit my feeds. The judge says you better unredact those files or release them now, or explain why you haven't yet. So,
we'll get to more of that in the Epstein section. Give peace a chance, bro. CENTCOM and the IRGC hang out? Can they just hang out, bro?
They can just party together. Maybe is Cash there? He can start the party going, right? Pete Hegseth, he's a party guy.
That's what JD Vance, he said, I'm a millennial, bro. JD Vance had an interview with Unheard, and he said, U.S. military IRGC CENTCOM to hang out together in Doha.
Just hang out. That's how they worded it, right?
That's his exact, is a direct quote from him, to hang out, yeah.
Wow.
Here it is. Trump designated the IRGC as a terrorist organization. And he says CENTCOM's going to go hang out with them.
This is where we're headed. I mean, it's already idiocracy, right? But, man, we're going to get the Camacho eventually. Give it 2 more terms, right?
Vance touts new relationship with Iran in an interview with Unheard. Aboard Air Force 2, J.D. Vance, Mr. Technocracy, never forget that. Another thing, Tucker, Alex Jones, a bunch of the big right-wing media guys, they're trying to sell J.D. Vance. Don't freaking buy it. They sold you Trump. Look what we got. Don't buy him selling you J.D. Vance. He's Mr. Technocracy. Anyhow, continuing here. Vance described a quasi-normalization of relations with Iran emerging from the war, making several notable remarks about the ongoing diplomacy. The U.S. and Iran to establish a direct military channel to prevent future crises. Vance called it a key breakthrough. They were like, this is a direct quote from them. They were like, okay, fine. We'll send somebody from the IRGC to go hang out in Doha with somebody from CENTCOM. And that's how we're going to settle a lot of these disputes. What? Vance said Iran is offering nuclear concessions beyond those in the JCPOA. He said Tehran is proposing a much more rigorous inspection regime and the elimination of its enriched uranium stockpile. He said even the Gulf's most hawkish government is now engaging directly with Iran, calling the UAE by far the most hawkish, by far the most pro-aardvark land country in the GCC. What is that? Gulf Cooperation Council. Vance said Emirati officials are holding unprecedented talks with the IRGC over what Iran would need to do to become investable. Vance said Tehran is seeking a broader reset with Washington. They really want a fundamentally transformed relationship with the United States and the world, he said, while adding, I don't know where we're going to be able to land in the middle, whether we're going to be able to land in the middle. Self-defense, a right for all, aardvark land, and every other nation in the region has a right to self-defense, he said, adding that the goal is to de-escalate on Lebanon. Vance said diplomacy is beginning to reduce tensions. They're literally bombing them right now. I saw reports right before we came on the air. They're bombing the hell out of Lebanon right now. He said the ceasefire had effectively held for 48 hours. He needs to get on the internet and look at foreign news instead of wherever he has the best news there is, U.S. intelligence. So he's lying, obviously, or getting false intelligence. He said the ceasefire had effectively held for 48 hours and described the situation as a lot better than it was a few weeks ago. They're bombing the hell out of Lebanon right now. So if they just hang out together, then we can have peace, Ruckus. What do you think?
Sure. I need to correct you, though. They're not trying to convince people to go vote for Vance on the next go-around. They're trying to force Vance on us now after Trump makes a swift exit in some way, shape, or form. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. However, they are certainly grooming the next round of, say, Tucker Carlson's, MTG's, Thomas Massey, Joe Kent, Tulsi Gabbards, those types, all of these people that have these public fallouts and have left the administration and their positions and things that are making the rounds and saying, look, we've got the CIA podcast guy, Sean Ryan, now hanging out with Candace Owens. This is a red alert situation, people. Listen to what I'm telling you. So do not trust any of these people, even if it is Thomas Massey, which I hate to say. I like Thomas Massey, but there's no way. These people cannot get into power. It's like you said, like about the Martin Van Buren thing or whatever. You know what I mean? So how did that guy get in power anyways? Who knows?
Trump refuses to take responsibility for Minab school massacre. He said yesterday, Trump said that it may never be determined who was responsible for the deadly massacre. It was a ritualistic blood sacrifice that kicked off the Iran war by killing 175 children and teachers there in the Minab school massacre. And he knows exactly what happened because it was serving his evil God. And so Trump said, I don't know that they are ever going to solve the problem. I don't know that they are ever going to solve that problem in terms of whose fault was it, because there were missiles flying all over the place. And it's horrible what happened, but there were missiles flying all over the place. They know exactly. They can freaking see a dime from outer space from a freaking satellite, and you can't tell me. They know exactly what they did there, Ruckus.
No, I believe the government. I trust them. I trust the plan, which is great news, because then that means for some strange reason, the same government must have been lying to me for my benefit about whether or not they can read the back of a dime. I'm so confused now. Hold on a second. There are conflicting messages coming from the same place here. What do we believe? So they're lying to us now, or they're lying to us then? Which is it? Oh, well, I guess they're probably just lying to us constantly. Like, that's all they do, right? And this guy Vance, he really seems like he just pulls it. He could do what we're doing. He reminds me of somebody who just goes up and just reacts on a podcast, and he's like a news pundit. He's just a talker. He's not like a thinker. He doesn't have like a huge degree or understanding of like geopolitics or even politics at home. I haven't looked into this book, but I mean, he's like some hick from the country who just like fell into this allegedly, and then he's got all these weird close ties to technocracy. Yeah, I don't trust that guy with a 10-foot pole, but yeah, he's like a used salesman just running around flapping his gums. He doesn't even know what he's saying half the time. That's what I believe. He could be like a chat bot, like he takes all the stuff and he's like, what else would you like to know? You know,
does JD Vance already have the brain chip? He may.
Does he have a brain? You need a brain first, right?
How to handle a panic in 101. This is for you, Ruckus, from Trump, from the White House. The White House posted that. That's how to handle a panic in 101.
I don't get it.
You shouldn't, because it's stupid. Here's propaganda about America 250 from the White House. If we can get it to play here. There we go.
In 1776, our founding fathers met in Philadelphia and changed the world forever at the thing called the Declaration of Independence. Tonight, as we stand on the edge of our 250th year of independence, I am thrilled to declare that America is back. Our country is strong again, our country is wealthy again, and our country is safe again. America is once again a nation of self-respect, dignity, and pride. This is our heritage, this is our history, and this is the destiny of America, to be the greatest, most incredible country ever to grace the earth.
We're back. Where do we go, Ruckus?
The destiny of America. Boy, that sounds terribly familiar, almost like something written by a high-level Freemason. Do your own research, kids. Anyways.
Manifest Destiny.
Yeah.
Here's the penis that they all love there. The phallus. flyovers, the giant erect penis there in DC, the Washington Memorial.
I can only wonder what that's supposed to symbolize. Anyway, it'd be a damn shame if one of them accidentally unleashed a payload right there onto that sucker and it fell right into that slimy reflecting pool. Just a wild, no, don't do that. If you're a fighter jet pilot doing flybys over the obelisk, whatever you do, do not do that. That would probably be bad.
250 years of glorious American freedom, and here's the this is the circus they've created there for America 250 celebration, complete with a Ferris wheel and fighter jets and stealth bomber.
Luckily, fighter jets and stealth bombers are very cheap to fly, and it's not on the taxpayer's dime, right?
No, they're extremely expensive.
Oh, crap.
And we're in 39.
So much for that whole waste, fraud, and abuse thing, right?
And we're in $39 trillion in debt and growing fast, with like $2.5 billion a day in interest payments alone. But I'm sure it's nothing to be concerned about because we're in the golden age.
Plus, we opened the Strait of Hormuz, which means magically we don't have to worry about the impending. No? Okay.
We got reports on the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran shot at a ship earlier today. So
it's all Iran's fault. We all knew that.
Here's a funny post from the U.S. Department of Education. They say your daily reminder: the Department of Education doesn't educate a single child, hire a single teacher, or buy a single book. Return education to the states. What? The Department of Education doesn't educate us. Why are you there? Another failed promise by Trump. They promised at the beginning of the administration they were going to abolish the federal Department of Education, yet still they are here saying they don't do anything.
The way all the other things are going, and they're still here and or never happened, I'm skeptical at this point that it's going anywhere, Sam.
Trust the plan. Do we have to? And she's coming back.
Ignore the panicans and trust in President Trump.
Oh, good. I missed her.
I saw she's making appearances on the War Channel, Fox News. So I can't wait for the daily briefings of propaganda and lies.
Would have been fun if while she was gone, they brought back one of the other ones for a little while, like KGP. That would have been weird.
It would have been a fun one. They should have brought back Sideshow Bob. Everything is a sideshow and freaking ridiculous clown world. So roll out Sideshow Bob again. What the hell? Here's a crazy story, Ruckus. Stay with me here. Transgender vegan death cult member charged with murdering parents execution style. 3 members of the Zizian cult have been charged in total. The murder itself took place in December of 2022. The group has been linked with similar cases since. The Zizian cult.
Did they learn how to do this from Peter Thiel's Secret Society? Did they attend his Build a Cult workshop, I wonder?
I don't know. Here they are doing the perp walk.
Michelle, any comment?
Yeah, we got it. Prosecutors trying to offer valuable consideration for perjury and violating
transgender vegan death cult, Zizian cult. We'll have to look into that further. I just saw that report from RT. I was like, that's a crazy one. Okay, so
that's their pronouns, by the way. Crazy, insane, and yeah, not going to be walking around a free man or woman anymore.
They murdered their families. So yeah, quite horrific there. Or at least they're charged with that, and that's why we have due process, and they're going to go to trial. Rand Paul subpoenas Fauci. So we're going to finally get justice for the bat problems, maybe. Rand Paul subpoenas Fauci for July 29th Senate testimony. Ruckus, we're finally getting justice, right? No?
No.
So that's coming up at the end of July 29th. We'll look forward to that. And yeah, so he hasn't shown his face publicly in 3 years, but top donor to the Democrats, per the Washington Compost, George Soros is still throwing around millions of dollars, and why we love American democracy. Number one Democrat donor, they're $102 million in the 2026 election cycle. And so we do love our democracy here in America, Ruckus.
They're ruining all the good conspiracy theories. That it's George Soros, the top individual donor. He worked alone. So there's no theory about any conspiracy taking place there. Similarly with the previous story as well, if you think about it.
On to this tragic story before our break. This horrific 2 earthquakes. I guess a bunch of 5 earthquakes were hitting around. 6 powerful earthquakes in less than 24 hours. 6.9 hit in Japan, a 4.9 in Philippines, a 5.1 in New Guinea, off the coast of California, a 5.6, and then a 7.2 magnitude and 7.5 magnitude earthquake hit in Venezuela, killing 188 people so far, injuring another 1,500. And people are still missing in the rubble, and they're suffering aftershocks there in Venezuela as well, Ruckus.
This is terrible. I saw a lot of this already, and I'm just like, it's hard to see when you see these pictures. You're like, wait a minute, was this an earthquake or did Israel do that? It's just, I'm sorry. Anyway.
What? Let's hear a reporter on the ground here. Rescuers still pulling survivors from the rubble. Local reporter Gladys Casada. Let's hear a little bit of her report there on the ground in Venezuela. We're having a lag today on the videos of the X. Here we go.
Have been toppled, and the authorities are trying to find people in the rubble. And that means that the death toll in La Guaira could be higher and could be increasing the total death toll so far. And so far as well, here we are in Caracas, in the parish of Altamira, in Chacao municipality. And people here is the rescue and salvage officers are coming and are trying to find the survivors inside the rubble of this building. Those buildings are iconic here in Venezuela, and they were.
It does look like they carpet bombed the place. We do have some video here if we can get to it. Some other video. Let's see here. Oh, warning to Americans in Venezuela. Contact the American embassy there for help if you're troubled by the earthquake. 1-202-501-4444 for Americans that are in Venezuela that may be suffering due to the earthquake. Here's one of the images I think you're referencing. It does look like a carpet bombing campaign in Gaza or Lebanon, but no, that's actually Venezuela. You can see that big building collapsed because terrorists flew a plane into it. Oh no, it was an earthquake. I'm sorry.
The other thing that's weird about this, or heartbreaking, or makes you think, is like there'll be generally a worldwide effort to some sort of rescue operation and to help the survivors get back on their feet and rebuild and all that fun stuff, right? We see it all the time. The good part of humanity coming together to help fellow humans, right? Yet, if like a tragedy like that were to take place right now in certain parts of the world, say like Lebanon, let's say Lebanon got struck by a huge massive earthquake and like half the city is absolutely destroyed, would we be allowed to get in there and help those people?
No, we just laugh at them and call them terrorists.
Well, I wouldn't, but
Here's an aerial view, so you could see some more of the damage. It does look like an Aardvark land carpet bombing campaign, but it's not. It's an earthquake. No audio on this clip, but you can see the some of the damage from the aerial view. Quite a toll. So we stole their oil, stole their president, stole their oil, stole their gold, and then hit them with a earthquake weather weapon. No, I don't know that, but we do have natural seismic shifts, and seems like the Earth is moving here now, as evidenced by 6 earthquakes. We showed that right in the Ring of Fire, as well. They're in going through Japan and the Philippines and the like. Wow, that house just fell over. Aardvarks bombed it. Oh no, never mind. This is Venezuela. It's so confusing because the damage is so similar. No, I think the bombing is actually worse than the earthquake damage. Now that I can see here a little bit more of it. That's pretty bad right there. That joint got leveled. Some of those joints got leveled. Yeah. They probably had no big contracts from the Trump administration. This is the kind of construction you get. The building just falls over during an earthquake.
It does make rebuilding easier if it falls down on its own, right?
Here's some
don't we have some sort of close association to Venezuela? Something happened recently
we jacked them. We jacked their president, their gold, and their oil.
Oh, that's Venezuela. Oh, okay, that's it. Maybe they just started fracking a little too early or something. Who knows?
And now we just could be. No, I think it's a string of earthquakes. I think the Earth is moving. Here's some still images from from the Associated Press to take a look at some more of this damage. That skyscraper right there, you can see right there, just the whole place collapsed. There you go. No bid contracts. Literally triage medical center set up there, treating the injured. Some old people, a dog. Yeah, you got to take care of them. Yeah, scary stuff. Not bombed by Aardvark land. Looks like it was bombed by Aardvark land, but that was an earthquake, actually. Quite horrific. Tragedy leveled the place there in Venezuela's unfolding. Wow, that's scary. Imagine driving along and the freaking road just opens up and you drive your truck into it. That's pretty scary stuff right there. The dog survived, apparently, thankfully. Yep. More Trump insider deals on the construction contracts. Another dog saved, thankfully. These people saved, apparently. And some of the damage and images coming out of the Venezuelan earthquake, quite horrific there.
Well, it is nice at least to see, like, medical attention and rescue operators able to do their work without getting bombs dropped on their head or shot at while they're trying to do that. So that's good.
Well, maybe I don't know, U.S. Southcom says they're going to assist. Maybe they'll bomb them.
Oh, geez.
Maybe that's what they mean by assist.
What was it, the Ronald Reagan thing? We're from the government. We're here to help.
So just clearing a path, U.S. Southern Command to bomb Venezuela in earthquake relief efforts. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see where are we at here. Yeah, we'll come back with the reflecting pool debacle, what's really important in this country. Let's take our live commercial break right now. Everybody go to weaponizednews.com/shop. Get yourself a holograph sticker there. All the colors of the rainbow. We have the white background sticker. If you're not down with Pride Month, you're supporting these Muslim soccer teams. Weaponizednews.com/shop, or the clear sticker right here. Give me the like, share, subscribe, push that notification button. All that's free. We take donations as well. Buy me a coffee, Bitcoin wallet address, Cash App, links all in the description below this video. Become a paid subscriber at Weaponized News Substack channel. We give everything away free. We're streaming live on Substack right now. Become a paid subscriber. Show your support for independent reporting and analysis brought to you 5 days a week, broadcasting live, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern time. Weaponized News Substack channel. The link's in the description below. Everything's free there. You can become a paid subscriber. We provide the show, a summary of the show, and links to almost everything we talk about there after the show at Weaponized News Substack channel. All the links are in the description below this video. Plug away, Ruckus.
Sure, if you're feeling Gucci and you don't want the free stuff, head on. No, I'm just kidding. This is also free. AlternateCurrentRadio.com. It's free to look, but if you want to buy something, buddy, that's going to cost you. No, again, I'm just kidding. It's all free. That's how us independent people do it. But yeah, we got the Oddcast, the Odd Man Out podcast, Mystical American Patriot Society, Sunday Wire with Patrick Henningsen, of course, the Boiler Room, and this weird guy Ruckus doing stuff. That's me. If you'd like to learn more about me, go to there or go here. My X account is AC_wordslinger. Hit me up if you are curious about what that means, and if possibly I can help you with some word slinging stuff. Maybe you need a website, graphic art for your thumbnails for your YouTube channel, or you'd like to start messing around with AI and working that into your business, and you need to consult with somebody about what that might look like. That's me. Hit me up. Okay, there you go. Thanks, Sam.
Right there. Give me a follow, send your hate mail to @Weaponized News, and then send only kind regards to Ruckus at AC_wordslinger right there on the X.
If you don't, it's going right into my trash bin on my computer. So, you know.
Wait a minute. There's my Lord and Savior there.
Oh, yeah. I've been busy at work, and I did notice that the evolution has the trash can on your computer has changed over the years. That's what mine looks like right now. Yeah. Shadow President trash can.
All right. Give us that like, share, subscribe, push that notification button. All that's free. The likes do help on the compute, as they say. All right, friends. Welcome back to the second half of Weaponized News on this Thursday, June 25th, 2026 edition. Ruckus, this is where we're at. And it seems they've cracked the case there of the reflecting pool vandals. We've had 6 arrests for alleged vandalism at the reflecting pool there at the Lincoln Memorial. 0 Epstein file arrests. Priorities in D.C. Ruckus.
Well, I mean, there's a conflict of interest taking place here because I believe one of the contractors who was hired to install some sort of funky, weird filter system in that reflecting pool might be in the Epstein files. So, you know.
This is from the White House, and this rhetoric's like right from CIA Sean Hannity, but radical lunatics deface America's reflecting pool, and President Trump was right again. Really? Here's the video. The White House shared the Fox News. Caught on video, suspects vandalizing the reflecting pool, destroying, injuring, defacing, or removing cultural or architectural archaeological resources is a federal crime and will not be tolerated.
The Department of Interior gave us a look at individuals suspected of vandalizing the reflecting pool. Now, we haven't been able to verify the video, but take a look. June 19th, a male, blue shirt, reaches in, stays there for a little while. He goes back down, comes back up multiple times. What's he doing? Then a female, white tote bag. She reaches in, needs a better angle, sets the bag down, dives in a little deeper. And we don't know who these people are. No one was stopped or questioned by police, so no arrests. And we don't have the police report yet. But what are they doing with their hands in the pool? Are they cutting the lining? Are they peeling off the paint? And we don't know if they're committing a crime. They'll probably tell you they dropped their wedding ring. The Department of Interior says this, quote, "In the video, you're seeing 2 suspects observed destroying and removing a piece of the lining and attempting destruction of the lining. This incident took place on June 19, 2026, and we are investigating. Destroying, injuring, defacing, or removing cultural or architectural resources is a...
He said it wrong, too. It's archaeological. I said it wrong initially. But I'm shaking, Ruckus, because of this transgression against the reflecting pool.
Well, they caught them, so it's okay. We can sleep at night now. My favorite part of all of that was Jesse Waters, Fox News, just coming right out and saying, "We have not verified what we're about to show you, but we're going to show it to you anyways." What? What did you? Come on. That's where you're supposed to, like, change the channel. Like, what are you doing?
Look, here's from, this is right from the White House. United States Park Police. They're looking to identify these people, and they're calling for a federal firing squad execution.
No, they're not.
I know. I made that part up. You would think they're literally making a federal case out of it. And we still haven't seen the video.
It's a federal crime, what they're describing. Like, if indeed their fancy legalese term for it, the architectural whatever structure, integrity, whatever. Yep, that's a federal crime. That's right. So don't do it. But yeah, how do you know? How can you prove? Who knows what's going on there? And the whole thing could be just made up.
Trump claimed somebody took a knife or a razor and ran it.
Right. The slime ball. Did you see that guy? We've been showing on various programs to show him the slime ball fat cat dude who got the contract. Like, his crap just didn't work. It was a giant failure, and now they're looking for somebody to blame. So, like, radical lunatics. What does radical lunatic even mean, by the way? Do I have to look up the words radical and lunatic and try to put those two together in my head and make it make sense? Because it doesn't. Anyways.
The White House said crazed and deranged lunatics.
Well, they're just repeating themselves 3 times, aren't they? I like the fact that they may have been radicalized, because man, what a dangerous world we live in when even the lunatics are getting radicalized, people. Watch out.
So we had some fun with that one. Now on to the serious news of the day. Go ahead and drink some Roundup, Ruckus. What do you think? Right. Supreme Court ruling blocks thousands of lawsuits against the maker of Roundup weed killer, IG. The key toxic ingredient there is glyphosate. This is an Associated Press report. They say the Supreme Court sided with the maker of Roundup weed killer in a ruling earlier today, expected to block thousands of lawsuits alleging it failed to warn people the product could cause cancer. The case came before the justices after a tidal wave of litigation that included some multi-billion-dollar verdicts against Bayer, formerly a founding member of IG Farben, and bought and merged with Monsanto, a German agrochemical manufacturer that acquired Roundup's original producer, Monsanto, in 2018. The decision is a victory for President Trump's administration, which argued in support of Bayer, but it provoked outrage from allies in the Make America Healthy Again movement who want to rein in pesticide use. In the High Court, in a 7-2 ruling, held that Roundup cannot be sued in state courts for failure to warn because federal regulators have found a cancer link unlikely and do not require a warning label. Federal law also bars states from imposing additional or different labeling requirements, the opinion from Justice Brett Kavanaugh stated. The two dissenting Justice Ketanji Brown, I don't know what a woman is, I'm not a biologist of that fame, and Neil Gorsuch, the supposed real conservative on the Supreme Court, dissented, saying that Monsanto could have added a warning without violating federal law. Well, that would have been good of them, wouldn't it, Ruckus?
It's so damn inconvenient for them to put a warning label on their product. This is so ridiculous. I can't even. This stuff is so intentional and evil. Anyway.
A sickened gardener had won $1 million. The case before the Supreme Court was filed by Missouri resident John Durnell. He developed a cancer called non-Hodgkin's lymphoma after more than 20 years of serving as the neighborhood association's spray guy. What a freaking moron. Using Roundup on parks in his historic St. Louis community. A jury agreed that the company failed to warn him about possible cancer dangers and awarded him $1.25 million, but Durnell never received the money as his case was appealed. Durnell, 75 years old, said Thursday that his cancer is in remission and he will be fine without the money. What kind of moron is this guy? He has brain damage as well. Probably took a bunch of miracles. And loves Bayer Monsanto Roundup. But there are thousands of cases that are like mine that will not see court now, he said. So that is the biggest disappointment for me. Good looking out there, Durnell.
People still eat McDonald's, Sam, and drink Pepsi and read Wikipedia. So, you know, there's no helping some people.
Bayer has pledged billions for settlements. Bayer disputes the cancer claims, but previously set aside $16 billion to settle cases, and earlier this year proposed $7.25 billion class action lawsuit settlement. A federal judge recently ruled that the proposed settlement will be heard in a Missouri state court where many of the lawsuits have been filed. So it's ongoing here now. About 200,000 Roundup related claims have been made against Bayer, mostly from home users. It has stopped using glyphosate and Roundup sold in the U.S. residential lawn and garden care market. Is that a win? That's kind of a win. Kind of a
no, because if you want the good stuff, it's harder to get.
The company had said it might have to consider pulling glyphosate from U.S. agricultural markets if it keeps getting sued. That's the point, bro. We don't want this shit in our environment and sprayed all over our food and everything else. And it speaks to the our lawn's a psyop. What do you think about that, Ruckus?
Well, isn't this like the rock in the hard place kind of thing? Isn't it like that's specially formulated in order to, like, there's something going on, the aluminum resistance type of stuff, right? Or they're the seeds. Oh, that's a completely different thing, a completely different company. Oh, hold on a second.
No, the Terminator seeds
Monsanto?
are now. Yeah. Bayer bought Monsanto, yeah.
Yeah, but they're the same company, right? It's just, yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I'm just suggesting that they've probably done something to where the only product that actually works anymore is the one that gives you the cancer. They've cornered the market because they've genetically changed the environment from the ground up, so to speak, as it were. So I'm just suggesting that it might wind up being a bad thing for the crops. It's so stupid to say this in the long run. If people don't use that stuff, obviously it's bad for us to be eating the crops that have this stuff used on it. But it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. This is the way they operate. It's just really terrible. So again, how to use it? You need heirloom seeds. You need to be growing your own crops, and then you probably need to cover it to protect it from whatever the stuff is that's flying out of the back of those airplanes that they call condensation water. Contrails. They're not. They're chemtrails. We all know that. Anyways, you see what I'm saying?
Richard.
And then it doesn't matter because people still eat McDonald's and drink Pepsi. Yeah.
Richard Grinnell, MAGA guy, he posted science wins at the U.S. Supreme Court. Far left ambulance chasing lawyers are finally outed. The campaign lawyers have been running against Roundup has never been based in science. And he says, as a survivor of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and the former ambassador to Germany, the campaign against Bayer, a Nazi company, a literal Nazi company, has been shameful and destructive. The scientific evidence has never shown it causes cancer. Oh, I hate these people, Ruggles, more than Christian Zionists, I think. But how about the fact that this shit, it pollutes the whole environment that we all have to live in, and the glyphosate doesn't give a damn about your politics. How about the basic facts of the matter? And it blows up the little bug stomachs. What do you think it does to your stomach? The same damn thing.
No, I'm not a bug.
Oh, don't eat Roundup. Don't
eat bugs.
On this new, well, crickets, Hebrew crickets are okay, but besides that, no bugs. Bayer stock went way up here today. You could see upon this news, and so that's good. They were able to profiteer off of their cancer-causing Roundup glyphosate. Why does it have to be political? They politicize everything. It's not political. You ingest enough of this stuff, you will get cancer, and it doesn't care if you vote red, blue, or green, or for the freaking space aliens, or for illegal aliens.
So who's taking the shots on camera first? Is it going to be the TikTokers? Probably. Larry Ellison's got his little grubby claws in that place. I bet you anything. So, friends of friends, same circles, same dialogue, secret society, cult, workshop things that they all gather out of an island or whatever. You know how it goes.
Nicholas Holscher out of McCullough Foundation said 2 recent studies found that glyphosate causes 10 plus fetal cancers in rats at, quote, safe doses, and has invaded 90% of Americans' bodies. It comes out, tests of breast milk, tests of urine. It's freaking everywhere in our environment. Regulators allowed worldwide glyphosate use based on a now redacted fraudulent study ghostwritten by Monsanto staff. The entire glyphosate safety narrative was built on fraud. Yeah. You don't care, Ruggles? You're still drinking glyphosate?
Well.
Let's watch this short clip. I don't know what's up with the X is glitching. Here's a short clip from More Perfect Union, a little background on the old Roundup here. If we can get this thing to play and what's going on here. Oh, here we go. Maybe we won't get it to play. There we go.
Monsanto invented something that would change the world forever.
Roundup, no root, no weed, no problem.
But Roundup was more than just a good weed killer.
We've been using the weed killer for decades, but now it's at the center of a $1 billion health scandal.
Did Roundup weed killer cause a man to get cancer?
There's many diseases that are linked to glyphosate exposure.
My doctor, he goes, I think this is all due to Roundup.
What made Roundup so effective was the chemical glyphosate, that thanks to Monsanto has become the most popular pesticide in the world, and now one that's linked to cancer.
My patients dying just so their shareholders can make a few more bucks, just so their CEO can get a bonus.
Despite its links to cancer, Roundup is still a $1 billion business. So how exactly did Monsanto pull this off?
There was an intentional effort to deceive that took place over many decades.
These are a bunch of panicans. They're going to find a way to keep selling Roundup no matter the cost, Ruckus. And I think we just saw it.
Well, they could issue a mandate, huh?
You have to drink Roundup. It's a public health emergency. Here's another
Roundup.
Here's another good feel-good story. OpenAI, Anthropic, Stripe, and Bill Gates are putting $500 million into funding a new organization called Intercept. Intercept's goal is to prevent the common cold and the flu and eventually eliminate all respiratory disease completely. And so you'll never have to cough again because Stripe, Anthropic, Bill Gates, and OpenAI are going in together on this amazing venture for our health. Ruckus, exciting. Intercept.
I don't know about this one. Can you remind me what Stripe is? Just real quick.
Stripe's the payment processor that takes a cut for doing Jack.
Oh, yeah, I'm just kidding. I have a Stripe account. Yeah, so Stripe, and then the AI people, and the World Doctor is returning to the stage. Did my ears deceive me? It's none other but the beloved Mr. William Gates himself. Wow, dude, this is fantastic. This is great news. I'm so glad you brought this one tonight, Sam. I'm going to be not sleeping ever again for the rest of my life. Yay.
No one will ever cough again. So they're
because they won't be alive. Yeah, that's easy. They won't be doing much anything again.
Oh man! So Supreme Court clears way for Trump administration to revive restrictive policy for asylum seekers. The Supreme Court also ruled today that the temporary stays of Haitians and Syrians has been revoked, and they're going to go ahead and kick these refugees out. The Supreme Court allowed the Trump administration to move forward with ending the humanitarian protection program for hundreds of thousands of Haitians and Syrian immigrants, marking another victory for its restrictive immigration agenda. And so more about that in a 6-3 decision. The court's conservative majority overturned ruling by federal judges in New York and Washington, D.C. that have blocked the administration from terminating temporary protected status, TPS, for more than 350,000 Haitians and about 6,100 Syrians. So if they deport all these guys, that's going to put some big numbers in the deportation ledger there, Ruckus.
Well, numbers are your department, Sam. Will it really make that much of a dent in the how many of them?
J.D. Vance Technocracy said there's 50 million illegal aliens in this country. So I know it won't. Alligator Alcatraz is shut down there in Florida. Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida, announced that Alligator Alcatraz Immigration Detention Center has officially closed after all detainees were transferred or deported. So we're not
eaten by the alligators.
So we won't get a top bunk at the Alligator Alcatraz when they round everybody up for not taking a brain chip. Okay.
What's going to happen to all the alligators? Oh, they're going to send them up to the reflecting pool to help keep it safe. All those radical lunatics,
Security. The reflecting pool, they built a fence around it. It's patrolled by black helicopters. The Army and National Guard are patrolling it. And it has an AI-powered spy station as well. But somehow, some way, the radicals are still getting in there and vandalizing it.
And none of this looks dystopian or like Nazi Germany in any way, shape, or form.
It's America 250, Ruckus. America
celebrating freedom.
Even the UK Independent, more arrests have been made over reflecting pool than Epstein files.
Nothing should make you feel more free and proud as an American as gates being erected around the national monuments in areas that we used to be able to freely access until now. Yay, freedom!
The secret settlements protecting Jeffrey Epstein's friends. Report out of Politico. And then I did a little AI magic with it because there's an awful lot in that long report. I'll post the full report on Weaponized News Substack. Secret pre-litigation settlements with NDAAs have shielded some of Epstein's associates from public scrutiny. So that's the problem here, is they've signed these NDAAs. So that's why, one of the reasons why we're not seeing Epstein co-conspirators being prosecuted. They've already been granted immunity, essentially, here now, Ruckus.
Well, they could be officially pardoned, but they'd have to be unredacted first.
Can you be pardoned behind a redaction? That question should go to the Supreme Court, actually. A little bit more about
blanket
this.
Pardon for anyone whose names are behind a black bar. And then, like, you don't know if it's you, but we'll just assume so. Yeah.
Trump promised his entire administration blanket pardons. Remember that? So he basically said, do any crime you want, steal, lie, cheat. I'll pardon you at the end of it. MAGA, America 250. Law and order. Law and order. Multiple sources with direct knowledge, including attorney Brad Edwards, confirmed that certain accusers signed confidential agreements with Epstein friends they accused of misconduct. These deals occurred before lawsuits were filed and typically included NDAs barring public statements. Unlike court-filed statements, these left no public paper trail, making it difficult to know the full scope or number of such agreements. The nuance behind it, NDAs can serve legitimate purposes, protect privacy, and allowing victims to move forward without reliving trauma in the media. But critics argue they enable powerful individuals to avoid accountability. The implication is they create information asymmetry, protecting reputations while limiting public understanding of the Epstein network's breadth. Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
It's the way it is, because that's the way it goes. The House Oversight Committee, still investigating here, just released their interviews with Bill Gates and Leslie Groff. We reported on those, the transcripts from their depositions to the House Oversight Committee. Groff lied to Congress at least 7 times. She denied ever paying the tuition of young women, but her own emails prove otherwise. So, yeah, it's in her emails. But yeah, what's lying to Congress ever gotten anyone? More of the selective enforcement here, Ruckus. You lie to Congress and they'll throw you in jail, but it's like selectively enforced.
I was going to say, there's been lots of people who have lied to Congress who that has not happened for.
Fauci?
Yeah, there's one. I could think of like quite a number. Wow. No new no, that wasn't one. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. That sounds familiar. Yeah. What's that from? Is that from a movie?
No, that's from President Bill Clinton in the Epstein files. Good friends with Epstein, actually.
Was that under oath? Was he lying to Congress or something back then? No.
It all depends on what your definition of is.
I see how they get away with this then. All right, cool.
Washington Examiner report here. Ghislaine Maxwell claims new evidence in Epstein files should erase her conviction. Ghislaine Maxwell is asking a federal judge to erase her sex trafficking conviction, arguing that newly released Epstein files show her rights were violated before she was sentenced to 20 years in prison for helping the late financier sexually abuse minors. Maxwell, 64 years old, first launched this post-conviction challenge in December of 2025 when she filed a habeas petition seeking to vacate her conviction and sentence. She expanded that effort around April 20th in an amended petition that relied heavily on documents released under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, arguing the material showed that no reasonable juror would have convicted her. I'm convinced, Ruckus.
It doesn't take much to convince you, Sam. Just kidding.
Oh my gosh, is Trump going to give her a pardon? That would really wrap.
It's just unbelievable. I think he will. I really think that just the way things are going would not surprise me in the least. Absolutely.
We'll see. She's still appealing her.
It's also interesting the way she words what she was requesting there was to have it erased. Is that what the term? Were those her words? Her lawyer's words? Like where did that come from? That's a new one on me. Anyway.
Erase. That could never happen.
Wow. Way to go.
In response to her renewed efforts, U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton's office urged U.S. District Judge Paul Engelmeyer to reject Maxwell's petition in a 101-page opposition filed today, saying most of her claims were filed too late, already rejected on appeal, or could have been raised earlier. None of the defendant's claims has any merit, the prosecutor said. They said Maxwell's arguments based on newly released Epstein materials were speculative, misread, the record failed to show prejudice, and did not undermine the fairness of her trial. So we shall continue to report and follow her pleas to get out of jail there. Palm Beach.
Is there official charges involving? Because I know the official story allegedly is that the girls were not trafficked to anybody except Jeffrey. So in the charges against Maxwell, is it like she's officially charged for doing all this, but only for Jeffrey, right? Is that okay? Yeah, very strange. Yeah, because anybody believes that, right? And again, we have all these names hiding behind black bars because it's just this one guy. Anyways, weird.
Palm Beach Pete, running for mayor of Palm Beach, says this morning, this was yesterday, instead of getting my DNA test results, I received a letter from the Florida Division of Elections, excuse me, advising me to drop out of my campaign for mayor. And so he claims he's not Epstein. He's trying to prove it through DNA testing here now, right? And so they're telling him they're at the Florida Division of Elections to drop out of his race. So are we seeing discrimination against Palm Beach Pete here now?
I failed to see the connection between the two things. Was he denied the opportunity to get a genetic test or whatever? What was the first part?
Yeah, they haven't given him his results.
Who are they that haven't given him his results?
The government, I guess.
Right, that's strange to me. I'm like, why is he doing this test through the government? Can't he do this independently?
Here's the letter. It says, this is from the Florida Division of Elections. It says, concerns regarding candidate eligibility and recommendation to withdraw from Palm Beach mayor race. Dear Mr., and that's redacted. Kind of strange there. So I guess we don't even know what Palm Beach Pete's last name is. The Division of Elections has been made aware of credible information that raises serious concerns about your eligibility and suitability to continue as a candidate for mayor of Palm Beach in the 2028 election. Recent DNA analysis by, and they redacted it, I guess that's a lab. They redacted the name of the lab, and related inquiries have produced results that have generated extraordinary public confusion regarding your candidate identity and background. These findings call into question key aspects of your campaign and directly impact the integrity of the electoral process and public confidence in potential elected officials.
dude, this is getting crazy. All right.
Here's that letter. He posted it on the X. It is getting very crazy, right?
You want to know why? I'll tell you why. It's because he's not real.
He's a crisis actor?
No, he's not even physically real. This is a full-blown, some clever person. This is just a theory I have. He's an AI creation. Have you met him? Have you touched him? Do you know anyone? Hit me up. If you're in Florida and you know this guy's a real guy, let me know.
I think he went on Alex
there's
Jones'
something
show
very
today.
fishy. Did he really?
Mm-hmm.
Were you there?
I was not there. Here's a quick update video from Palm Beach Pete.
Guys, it's Palm Beach Pete, and I'm really pissed. I got a letter from the Division of Elections from the state of Florida regarding the irregularities concerning my DNA test. And they're asking me to suspend my campaign and take a step back. I'm not going to suspend the campaign. I'm getting legal involved, but I'll be back. I'm going to be traveling for a while, so you're not going to see me around for a bit. But I'll make the best mayor Palm Beach ever had, and I'll fight this tooth and nail. Peace out, Palm Beach.
Does he have your vote?
Okay, he's in trouble for something. Yeah, he's on the lam. He's going to disappear. All right, so this has nothing to do with Epstein. He's got some personal background that we'll hear about it eventually. But yeah, I don't think we're going to be seeing this guy. Like you said, there's you won't see me for a while and be traveling, dude. Classic. Yeah, this guy's about to disappear. Vamoose off the stage. Wow. Well, that was interesting while it lasted.
On to the economic section here now, Ruckus. Palm Beach Pete has... No, I'm not voting for that guy. I'm not voting for anybody. Seriously, though, now on to the economic section of the show. They tell us that the first quarter of this year, GDP came in at 2.1%, higher than estimates for 1.6%. U.S. inflation climbed to 4.1% in May per Bloomberg. I say quadruple that, and it's probably about 16% actually on Main Street, not this BS 4.1% number.
Oh yeah, dude, we need to get those numbers up as good.
Not on inflation. Not on inflation.
Oh, crap. Oh yeah, inflation, we don't want to win that race.
Many people don't know, and it's an economic fact. I challenge anybody and everybody to look it up. Inflation is a hidden tax, okay? And so that's just a basic economic fact that is given to us, that gift of inflation given to us by the private central bank, the Federal Reserve, because there is no governor on their money printing. It's not a recession, but Goldman says your paycheck is acting like it. They're talking about Goldman Sachs. That's a headline out of Fortune magazine. It's not a recession, bro, but you just can't afford to buy anything because everything costs so much. It's not a recession. It's fine.
Winning.
Hashtag winning. The U.S., Russia, and China are increasingly integrating artificial intelligence systems into their nuclear command, control, and early warning systems, according to Arms Control Association. Isn't that exactly how we got Skynet became self-aware? Haven't they seen the documentary Terminator movie series, Ruckus?
Or games?
or take it back to the early 80s war games as well.
Which, by the way, you would have a very, very difficult time convincing me that the world governments have not, every single one of them, already implemented artificial intelligence in some way, shape, or form into these exact systems. And I'm guessing even as far back as in the 1980s, they've been doing this. Weird, I know, because we think ChatGPT 2 freaking years ago. It's like, until then, AI didn't exist. No, got some bad news for you. It's been around for a while. Anyways, sorry.
32% of Americans believe the system is rigged in favor of corporations and the wealthy. The government involvement makes things worse, and that federal policies actively hurt the middle class, according to Roosevelt Institute report. Only
NASA's are
32%.
getting smarter.
Only 32% though, Ruckus. That's still very low.
I'll take it though. That's good. I mean, the way everybody was acting just 5 to 10 years ago, you'd be like, I swear there's only 2% of the people, right, who get it.
Here's a feel-good story about how humanoid robots are taking jobs in Michigan. Dow Agenic Data Center to deploy Chinese humanoid robots to support development of autonomous workflows. The technology company that owns Dow Agenic Data Center plans on staffing the facility with 30 humanoid robots from a Chinese manufacturer. Isn't that a national security threat? I don't know how they're going to get away with this. Hyperscale Data and its subsidiary, Omnipresent Robotics, you love that name, right? Omnipresent Robotics began production of the robots earlier this month as part of its broader plan to deploy 142 humanoid robots at the facility to support the development of embodied artificial intelligence applications, autonomous workflows, and advanced robotics systems. The data center is facing complaints and a class action lawsuit from local residents who say the facility emits constant noise. Hyperscale Data is partnering with Agibot, a Chinese robots manufacturer that it says is one of the leading humanoid platforms in the world. The company purchased 142 humanoid robots from Agibot for $13.4 million, and Omnipresent Robotics will resell robots once trained, Data Center Dynamics reported. We are building in Michigan because Michigan still has industrial muscle memory, a hyperscale data executive claimed in a statement to the press. Oh, man.
But the technocracy must be, we got to proceed anyways, right? Who cares, right? Move forward. Project Stargate, everybody.
X money's coming to X. And Elon Musk.
Oh, is it really? Is it really? There's
Here's the video.
Of these scams. Is this real? Okay.
No, this is right from Elon Musk, the top #1 scammer. No audio here, but yeah, X money. Really? Earn while you sleep. It's FDIC insured as well. So,
is there an official launch date, or I mean, are they waiting for? I imagine, what is it, tomorrow? Are they going to pass this Clarity Act? Am I right? Is that the correct timing on all this?
I don't know if it's tomorrow, but
it's
definitely coming down the pipe fast.
Okay, but it hasn't passed yet. Okay, no, I think it's this week. I think it's happening. I don't know. We'll see.
Bill to raise,
but the X Money thing, the Everything app and everything like that. This also explains why we saw a lot of those announcements coming from Google's I/O and a lot of similar announcements from a lot of these other big tech companies. They too are also basically evolving right before your eyes and under your feet. The current usage, like Google search changing to the AI search stuff and having a universal AI shopping cart. It's going to be like, they don't want you to leave Google. Elon doesn't want you to leave X. So you're going to be doing all the Everything apps now, stuff inside of all these stupid ecosystems. But anyways, I digress.
Yeah, they don't want you to leave their app, essentially killing much of the internet. Bill to raise minimum wage to $25 an hour will be introduced into the Senate. It's a golden age, bro. Probably should be.
I'm going to have to really reconsider the rates that I charge my clients. Holy smokes. And I got to stop giving such deep discounts.
If minimum wage is going to be...
I'm getting a job at McDonald's. Jeez.
It probably should be $25 an hour. But what does that say to the rest of the economy? says it's in the shithole. Anthropic accused Alibaba of illegally extracting the capabilities of its Claude AI model in what it says was its largest known attack, according to a report out of Reuters. So more fuel for the Cold War against AI Cold War against China there. Candidates for brain chips here now. Representative Sandy Cortez out of New York and Bernie Sanders have introduced the Artificial Intelligence Data Center Moratorium Act. The legislation aims to pause the construction of a new large-scale AI data centers until stringent federal environmental, grid capacity, and consumer protection regulations are established. So they should be forced to have a brain chip for this, right?
Wow.
Only 25% of Americans believe it's a good time to invest, down from 34% last quarter. Alliance reports that. And here you go. Turns out the Iranians are not so dumb. Americans are dumb. Iranians, at least their leadership, not so dumb. Ghalibaf, Speaker of the Iranian Parliament here. America, and I've been covering this story, Trump falsely claims, but he says America falsely claims our unfrozen assets will buy their agriculture. Interesting. The only crop we're harvesting is what you planted. Decades of mistrust. It's organic, abundant, and homegrown. But apparently the United States only exports GMO soybeans, broken promises, and trash talks. Eat your GMO soy or you're a damn Iranian terrorist, Ruckus.
No, I don't trust that stuff.
Well, you're an Iranian terrorist. But no, he's talking about Trump said the only way they'll unfreeze stolen Iranian assets is if they buy their agricultural crops from American farmers, mainly GMO soy, corn, and I forget the other one, wheat, I think.
And it's got the Monsanto stuff in it. See,
it's soaked. Part of the process is to soak it in glyphosate. Yes.
Wasn't there one of these World Cup player teams that came here and they famously brought their own food? They had to bring their own food because they refused to eat the crap that's here.
Did they? I would not surprise.
Yeah, I can't remember which team it was, but I know this is a thing.
Well, they're smarter than your fat slob American out there as well. And I mean to be offensive because, man, if you can't see how this glyphosate, what a freaking poison and public health concern it is, then, man, I don't know what to tell you at this point. The Trump administration has notified Congress of plans to proceed with $705 million jet engine sale to Turkey. And so as long as the military industrial complex is making more money than God knows what to do with, then everything's peachy in the economy here, Ruckus. Here's one.
Fantastic.
It's pretty rad. And we're stealing more oil. Trump quietly renews order entrenching U.S. control of Iraqi oil reserves. Trump has renewed Executive Order 13303, right? We got some 33s there, which places all of Iraq's oil reserves under his control in a Federal Reserve bank account.
How? Wait, what? How?
We have a big gun and we point it in Iraq's face and say, it's our oil, or we shoot you in the face. Got it? Terrorist.
This has got to be from something from way before Trump, right?
The executive order was initially signed following Washington's illegal invasion of Iraq in 2003 and has been renewed annually since, citing national security as the reason.
Now I get it, and I'm not surprised why I don't remember it or haven't heard about it, because they just don't talk about this stuff. They just keep renewing it quietly.
What's the Freemason sign? Like that, right?
That's the one, yeah.
Very quietly.
Or, anyway.
Yeah, very quietly. Very quietly indeed. They're a continuation of national emergency with respect to the stabilization of Iraq. We're keeping them safe by stealing all of their oil.
They don't mind when we do this, though. It's okay.
They enjoy it. They enjoy being bombed, being stolen from, having their leaders executed, having their civilians executed. They love it. We're told by the federal government.
They're not like those radical lunatics we got here.
No, nothing like that. And somehow, some way, the price of a gallon of gasoline is still hanging tough here, according to AAA national average for the price of a gallon of gasoline at $3.92. So all of this is peace talks, CENTCOM hanging out with the terrorists, and still the price of a gallon of gasoline remains extremely high here now, Ruckus. But I guess we're blessed it's below $4 nationally.
Just wait. I mean, I think that they're being nice to us, and they're doing something. They're working together to keep the prices this low. I say that's low. I understand that's high, but you just wait, because they're probably trying to keep a good profile and keep everybody happy through this 250th birthday celebration, and then the reality is going to be allowed to hit everybody full. Well, maybe they have to wait till after the elections. I don't know how much they can float until then, because eventually this is going to fall apart, and the prices are going to show up in everything, including your food. Yay.
It already is.
Yeah, I know. I'm already mad about the price of coffee. I'm going to be very, very upset here in a couple months, I'm sure.
So the fight over the Strait of Hormuz, little Marco Rubio said the United States makes no distinction between fees and tolls, arguing that any payment required to transit the strait would be unacceptable. Iranian Foreign Minister Arghachai said Iran and Oman agreed to hold talks to define future administration and maritime services in the Strait of Hormuz. And so they're just going to call it by a different name and still try to charge some kind of toll. They've already called it an environmental fee and a security fee. So they're still trying. I was trying to get, I don't know what's up with my, it's probably my browser here. Anyway, found it now. Wall Street Journal reports Iran estimates it could generate $40 billion annually by charging for security, safety, navigation, and environmental services in the Strait of Hormuz under a proposed post-war managerial framework.
Environmental services?
Like, you won't bleed in the water because we're not going to shoot you because you pay us the money. So that's environmental.
Sure.
Iran attacked a Singapore-flagged cargo ship in the Strait of Hormuz earlier today.
Like attacked?
Like attacked.
Fought each other?
And that's a report out of the Wall Street Journal. Iran attacks cargo ship testing Trump's deal to reopen the strait. The strike damaged the ship's bridge, but caused no casualties. It came hours after Iran warned vessels not to use routes it hadn't approved of.
So it's not just selectively targeting them at random, right?
No, you have to follow their program or they shoot you in the face.
Oh, okay. At least they tell them, hey, if you do this, we're going to do this. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, fair, I guess.
And it's for the environment, Ruckus.
They have the right to defend themselves. Right? Oh, wait, am I allowed to say that?
No, they don't. They're terrorists.
Didn't Trump say that?
Yeah, he says a lot of things. They don't have a right to defend themselves because they're terrorists who we've been at war with for 47 years.
Wow, that's, almost as long as I've been alive. Almost.
Price of aardvark lands wars plural, more than one, in West Asia since 2023 exceeds $200 billion. Aardvark lands wars in Gaza, Lebanon, Syria, and Iran since October 7, 2023, when they did a stand down. They did the Hannibal Doctrine and so on. They're with the worst attack in the history of the world, which in large part they were, at the very least, did a stand down and shot some of their own people. But what the hell? It's Aardvarks are allowed to do such things. Since the October 7, 2023 attack has cost Tel Aviv over $200 billion, according to a report out of Zayman Yazriel. So, yeah. Awesome, huh? No. Here's a little Marco on our foreign policy here in America. Feels pretty damn schizophrenic to me, but let's hear from Secretary of State, little Marco. He's kept his head down in regards to the Iran peace negotiations I've seen, because God forbid anyone be critical of Aardvark land except for the prescribed good cop, J.D. Vance. I don't know what's up with the video here today. Lagging on the X. There we go.
And one of the things I'm very proud of, I can't speak for every element of our government because I'm not involved in other aspects of our government, but one of the things that I'm the proudest of is that when it comes to foreign policy and national security, we have no drama, we have no games. We have a group of people that work very well together and closely.
Dude, all they do is lie. Like, dude.
How do you know that they're lying, Sam? Oh, their lips are moving. Never mind.
We have a new branch of the U.S. Army now, Ruckus. U.S. Army, yeah, a new branch of the U.S. Army. U.S. Army establishes Space Operations Branch to enable multi-domain dominance. Here it is from the U.S. Army by Army Public Affairs. Today, the U.S. Army announced it established its newest branch, the Space Operations Branch, making a historical milestone in the service's continuous transformation to meet the challenges of modern multi-domain warfare, as we're now in a Cold War with China, space race, and race to weaponize space. The Space Operations Branch consolidates and formalizes the career paths of the Army's space professionals. The new branch brings together Army space operations officers currently designated as Functional Area 40 and enlisted tactical space operations specialists designated under the recently established Military Operational Specialty 40D. Land power requires warfighting expertise in all domains. What makes me proud is our Army is not just building a capability, we're growing professionals at every echelon, said General Christopher Leneuve, U.S. Army Vice Chief of Staff. That's what the 40D MOS is about, soldiers delivering the foundational excellence of joint force, our joint force depends on. And so very exciting. They're moving forward with the weaponization of space, Ruckus, out of the Army now.
We assume they mean outer space, although they didn't say that explicitly because, you know, space could mean a lot of things. Thank God it's not inner space, so that's Bill Gates' department. Did you notice that photo that they were using? I don't know how this happened, but one of those dang Chinese spy balloons managed to photobomb that picture there. Did you see that?
There it is. Damn terrorist balloons. And I looked for the patch. They have not released the new patches yet, Ruckus, because I wanted the new logo, icon, design patch, whatever it is. They have not released that yet. And when it becomes available, we'll show it to you here now.
So this is obviously different than Space Force, which is this. So now how many freaking official military branches are there? This is creating a little bit. Well, I guess this is good because since we changed the name of it to the Department of War, which is a bit telling about where we're headed, which is probably not peace. We're going to need more war fighters and more branches and all of these things. And, and then roll in the robots. We're probably going to have I'm calling it right now, we're going to have an entire AI commandment unit, a robo artillery battalions. We're going to have all sorts of stuff in the near future, probably very, very near future. Sad to report.
Marca 250. They rolled Lockheed Martin yesterday was bragging about shooting down using their lasers for part of the Golden Dome. They're testing it out with Pete Hegseth yesterday. They're bragging about it. So it's wonderful. Keeping us safe. Here's the meme of the day out of the Department of War. Strategy, sensing, analysis, aiming, targeting, planning, execution, effect. And this was, of course, made by AI. There you go. Agent Network. We've launched the Agent Network PSP alongside PACCOM, SOUTHCOM, and EUCOM. This new AI capability scans real-time defense intel to provide commanders with actionable options in seconds, keeping humans firmly in the loop. Full announcement at war.gov. So that's exciting out of the Department of War, Ruckus.
They keep the humans in the loop. If somebody keeps me in the loop or we'll keep you in the loop, I don't feel like I'm actually officially involved in decision making. Just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, we'll keep you in the loop until the Terminators show up. Let's see here. Ola Maloney, there's a fight. I don't know if it's real or fake. I think it's all fake, but there's a public falling out between Prime Minister Maloney out of Italy and Trump. Because they're trying to say that they used Italy air bases to launch attacks on Iran. She is denying this claim, saying that no Italian air bases were used for attacks on Iran. So that's a little bit of the back and forth there. Russia, Ukraine. Zelensky says, I approved a 40-day operation by the security service aimed at influencing the aggressor state. He doesn't even say Russia, right? To compel it to bring the war to an end. Both guys every other day say, yeah, we'll have peace talks maybe, and then they launch giant attacks on each other. So it's still rough there in Ukraine. Okay, this one, Ruckus. Can we, and are you excited to bring back right-wing death squads to Central and South America upon the election of this right-wing Trump-endorsed right-wing candidate that won the presidency there in Colombia? President-elect.
Bring them back. I didn't know that they went away. So yes, please bring them back. Wow.
Abel Ador de la Estrella is now the president-elect of Colombia. And so he says in a statement here, he says, to those who are outside the law, I have a categorical message. You have 1 month to come to your senses and organize your submission to the rule of law. Under my government, there will be no generous offers or unacceptable concessions like those you have received from the regime that is now coming to an end. The current government's complicity with organized crime is disgusting and shameful. In the era of the tiger, he's known as El Tigre. The rule of law and only the rule of law will prevail. The accommodation of crime is over. Those who persist in corruption, terrorism, drug trafficking, extortion, and every other form of violence will face the full capacity of the Colombian state. So that's why I say, are we going to bring back right-wing death squads?
Probably not.
No.
We have drones and OpenAI and XAI and Anthropic and Skynet. So
we're way past right-wing despots.
Plus, we have ZBS. You know, there's always ZBS.
Saudi Arabia to host Gulf-Iran Reconciliation Summit. So again, if these Muslims could ever get together, the West Anglo-American establishment would not be able to divide and conquer them so easily and keep them at each other's throat, fighting different factions of Islam, pitting them against each other, primarily the Sunnis and the Shias, right? Saudi Arabia is expected to host Gulf-Iran reconciliation talks. Diplomatic talks aimed at improving relations between Gulf countries and Iran are expected to be held in Saudi Arabia, according to a report out of AFP. Maybe they can finally get it together. I have my doubts. Netanyahu convinces Trump to back Aardvark land occupation of southern Lebanon. So we're not going to have a peace deal, because that's like the main sticking point to Iran here. Bibi, shadow president of America, reportedly convinced U.S. President Donald Trump to support a continued Aardvark land occupation of southern Lebanon. Yedith reported earlier today, Aardvark land news outlet. So, wow. And it goes on here, Ruckus. It goes on. IMF, International Monetary Fund, says Lebanese economy set to contract in 2026. I don't know why. They're just carpet bombing it every day. You have a robust economy when that's happening, right?
Well, if you're a real estate developer,
i.e. Jared Kushner, i.e. Steve Witkoff.
What did the current U.S. president used to do before all this?
He was a game show host.
Oh, that's right. Thanks. Reality TV star.
Aardvark land war minister. They changed the wording. I like that on the cradle here in this report. They changed it to war minister, which he is. I think his official title there is still defense minister. But anyhow, Aardvark land war minister Katz spoke at a graduation ceremony for combat officers and officers training school. He stated that the IDF will remain in security zones in Lebanon, Syria, and Gaza indefinitely. So I don't know how
safe and effective.
I don't know how we're going to square that with peace with Iran. I seriously don't know. I don't know what's up with it. I think it's my browser needs to be reset because I'm having some issues here. But continuing, it's ongoing attacks. They're bombing the place right now. Like right before we came on air, I was seeing videos and reports from nighttime. It's the nighttime over there, and they're bombing the hell out of it. Earlier today, Aardvark land warplanes continue attacking southern Lebanon. It's just ongoing. Aardvark land has killed at least 7 people in Lebanon in the past 48 hours in 3 separate attacks targeting vehicles. There's some video of it. Let's hear her report. She's still alive, thankfully. Old Courtney Balou there. She tells us now she's reporting from the rubble in southern Lebanon. But the death tolls now. 4,230 dead civilian Lebanese and 12,179 injured civilian Lebanese since March 2nd. Let's watch her short report here from the rubble about what's going on there. Continued attacks.
Hi, I'm reporting to you from the town of Maithdoon. I'm going to keep this short because there's been a quadcopter hovering over us for the past 10 minutes.
Dude, you better be careful.
Maithdoon was hit extremely hard during the war, just like everywhere else in the Nabatea area. Earlier this afternoon, an Israeli drone strike killed 2 people on the road behind me. This is just the latest in multiple Israeli ceasefire violations that have left 7 people dead since yesterday. Behind me is the town of Zartar, which is still occupied by the Israeli army. And On the hill just beyond that, you can see Beaufort Castle, which is an historical site here in Lebanon. The ridge of the castle is still occupied by the IOF because of its position and the overview of the whole area. They use it for military observation. And we are going to get the hell out of here before we get shot.
Dude, that's scary stuff right there.
Yeah, she doesn't even wear the helmet, the body armor, identify herself as press or nothing. Playing with fire.
I think maybe they decided
Well,
that
actually,
makes
she's
you a
probably
bigger
safer.
target.
I
I
was
think
just
that
gonna
makes you a
say,
bigger
yeah.
target, actually.
Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, I was just going to about correct myself. Yeah, that's probably safer that way to not point out that you're press, because then they're like, oh yeah, we're going to get you.
That puts a big target on you. If you have the Red Cross representing that you're a medical worker, a first responder, that's a freaking target. And they're systematically whacking all of those people, press and all medical people. So, yeah, those are targets, not a sign don't shoot. That's a target to the enemy there, the Aardvark occupation forces. The Hezbollah put out a statement earlier today. They say the Aardvark occupation army once again deliberately targeted Lebanese civilians who were on their way to inspect their homes. And so, yeah, people want to go back to their homes. Lebanese want to go back to their homes. They're getting whacked on the way back home. So, quite horrific. Leave Lebanon now or flee in defeat. IRGC Quads Force Chief issues new warning to Aardvark land. This dude right here. So see, that's the key sticking point here. How are we gonna have a peace deal and have IRGC hanging out with CENTCOM in Doha if they keep whacking the Lebanese civilians? I don't see them squaring this circle, Ruckus.
It's almost like whacking civilians and war are mutually exclusive things.
He said, what's his name? Quads Force Commander Ishmael Quani. He issued a statement earlier today, and he said, let the Zionists know, those who have stood and fought against you Yazidis with the spirit of Asherah and the faith of Imam Hussein carry within them the same eternal belief that every day in Asherah and every land in Karbala, said in a statement. So I don't even know what any of that means. They know what it means. So, yeah. There's video of IDF soldiers dancing in a house they essentially stole in southern Lebanon. That's continuing to go on. We haven't heard much from this guy out in the media, but Aardvark Land Minister of Energy Eli Cohen said in his Aardvark language on channel, I think it's channel 14, Aardvark channel 14 over there, in his language, he said the issue of withdrawing from the security zone in Lebanon is not on the agenda. Even if Trump asks us to withdraw, we will tell him no. So, yeah, it's this dude right here. That dude, the energy secretary. And he had more to say, actually. He had more to say about it. If I can get it up here. Apologies for the lagging. We'll come back to him. An Iranian source says any final deal requires a full Aardvark land withdrawal from southern Lebanon, calling it a key red line. The source also claims Aardvark land attacks have decreased over the past 6 days due to Iranian actions, but says Iran will only accept a permanent ceasefire and a complete Aardvark land withdrawal. That's the out of Iran International. Dude, what is up? Okay, Bibi Bibi said similar remarks at a commencement speech. Bibi, shadow president of America, said, "We dominate southern Lebanon from the summit of before that fort that you saw in that earlier video, and we will remain in the security zone in southern Lebanon for as long as necessary. We are not going to withdraw from it." The Minister of War, and I made it absolutely clear to the IDF, you have complete freedom of action to eliminate any threat to our soldiers or to the residents of the North. So same routine, business as usual.
What do they consider a threat, though? What's the definition of that?
A kid playing by a yellow line.
Yeah, there you go.
Aardvark Land has seized 115 acres of Palestinian land to expand settlement block. The Aardvark Land authorities seized 464.4 dumas, or 115 acres of Palestinian land in the town of Sinjil, north of Ramallah in the occupied West Bank, by declaring it state land. So they just go over there and say, it's state land now. You're gone. In the occupied West Bank. Energy Minister Eli Cohen went on to say, we have no intention of taking over the entirety of Lebanon, but in Gaza, we will establish security control over 100% of the Gaza Strip. And so now they're just saying the quiet part out loud on Channel 14, Aardvark News. Here he is. There he is saying it on Channel 14. There. They're taking 100% of the Gaza Strip, Ruckus.
Who didn't see that coming? Huh?
It's shocking. I know. The Houthis are keeping their powder dry and their finger on the trigger. Yemen warns it will not stand idly by as Aardvark Land establishes military presence in Somaliland. They're trying to build another terrorist training base there in Somaliland to counter the Houthis there in Yemen, across the sea there, to create another proxy army, essentially. The leader of Yemen's Ansarallah, Ahmed Malik al-Houthi, put out a statement earlier today saying, we will not stand idly by as Aardvark Land establishes a military presence in the breakaway region of Somaliland. So we can expect more fighting there between the Houthis and Somaliland proxies, two proxies essentially. So that will be fun once all of those attacks kick off. Ruckus.
No, it gets fun when Taiwan, China enters the picture.
Yeah, that would be a world war, wouldn't it?
Well, that's what they said about Russia and Ukraine, and that's what they said about the Middle East thing. And so I'm kind of skeptical that we're going to see what we've traditionally been expecting in the Department of World War III. Instead, I think it's been one continuous World War III ever since the Cold War. We've probably moved through a certain number of them. We probably passed through War 4, 5, 6, knowing the way that these mother lovers like to operate. We're probably officially on World War 33.
World War 33. Our future's bright. Global health professionals, this trigger warning, big antiseptics. Global health professionals demand boycott of Aardvark Land Medical Association over complicity in Gaza genocide. And so trigger warning here now, over 1,150 terrorists, health professionals and organizations launched a petition on June 13th calling for a boycott of Aardvark Land Medical Association, IMA, accusing it of failing to adhere to medical ethics, a conspiracy theory, and of complicity in the genocide of the Palestinians in Gaza. And then this one, I don't know if you can handle this, Ruckus. So it's a big trigger warning, and for the audience as well. But the Lancet has put out this petition calls for boycott of Aardvarkland Medical Association. You see out of the Lancet there. So I'm shaking in rage because it's blood libel. But
don't worry, Sam. President Trump is about to sanction the Lancet.
They will pay for their transgressions there. Yeah, wow. So the Lancet, it's pretty mainstream, I would say, here now. The UN, all of the mainstream press, all this week, they are indeed committing genocide against the children of Gaza. I don't know how they get it out of this. I just whack everybody, I guess. And the whole
lot of whacking going on here.
The whole you're antiseptic, and JD Vance has even said it's lost its juice. Like it's the same thing. Everybody's antiseptic. Well, then nobody is, right? And they've overplayed their hand here, and it's losing any juice that it had, and so we're seeing that.
He's confused. I think he was trying to remind everybody that TikTok lost its juice box emoji.
Oh, and didn't they take away the Hebrew translation on the X? I believe they did. So you're not allowed. Yeah, you can't see, because every other post they write in their language, it says "kill all Arabs" and "F you America," basically. So you're not allowed to see that translated into English, how they really feel about you, because they care. And we wouldn't have a country, according to Mike Huckabee, if it wasn't for these guys that hate our freaking guts and call us goyim, a derogatory supremacist term, all day. And so we wouldn't even be alive if it wasn't for their degeneracy and debasement of humanity, Ruckus.
Well, we all know that the Hebrew language is one of the most anti-Semitic things on earth. Next to the Bible, of course.
Yep. So it's ongoing. They're stacking Lebanese civilians' bodies and Palestinian civilian bodies. Okay, so the genocide is ongoing. And like I said, they're bombing the place right now as I speak here to you. So again, Ruckus, how can we have a peace deal with Iran as long as Aardvarkland, our mad dog, is off the leash and going about their massacring ways? I don't see how we can possibly square that circle and have a peace deal with Iran. When Iran keeps insisting it's a key sticking point, a red line in peace negotiations, stop it, Aardvarkland, stop it. Essentially,
well, that's Iran's fault then. That's not our fault, right?
But
because like I thought, aren't we? It's us, right? The United States is at war with Iran. Iran is at war with the United States. So that should be completely separate. What the F does that have to do with Aardvarkland and their beef with Lebanon civilians and Palestinian children? That's a completely separate thing. That's their battle. That has nothing to do with it. So it's incredibly unfair of Iran, who is at full-fledged war with the United States of America and nobody else or nothing.
For 47 years.
Us. Yes, for 47 years. What the F does whatever Aardvarkland is doing with Lebanon and Palestine have to do with Iran and the United States? So it's unfair of Iran to put these things. That would be like us having an argument, a legal battle about Coke and Pepsi, and we bring McDonald's into the equation. What does that have to do with it? Who cares that McDonald's only serves one product in their store, which I believe is Coke, if I'm not mistaken. But you see what I mean? Okay, now wait a second, because again, this is a greater regional conflict. We're not technically really at war with Iran. I don't think we really technically ever really were. And this is really all about, and always has been, picture the guy like always has been, the meme, you know the meme, right? And that's what this is all about. What happened? Those dirty Hamas terrorists. It's all their fault. October 2023. Am I correct?
No. Iran was going to nuke us in 2 weeks.
Well, see, they need to get their story straight. None of this makes a lick of sense now, does it? No, I'm confused.
That's all the reporting we got for today. Iran international headlines here. Trump predicts Iran deal despite Hormuz ship attack. U.S. lawmakers say Washington's slow rolling MNAB school strike answers. Should have watched Weaponized News. We solved it the couple days, I think the day it happened, or at least the day after it happened. We told you exactly what was going on there. Aardvark land Lebanese delegations to resume U.S. brokered talks on Friday. Revival versions of Iran take to the streets during Ashura. Argachai compares slaying Khomeini to Imam Hussein in Ashura message. They're trying to rally the religious, all the religious Muslims there, obviously. Trump says U.S. negotiations with Iran from pure strength. Expects a deal. And then finally,
he expects a deal. That's funny how they word that.
Al Jazeera headlines here. Rescuers race to find survivors as death toll in Venezuela. Quake hits 235. It reported in the Venezuela earthquake section, it was like 188. Now it's up to 235 dead there in Venezuela. The Venezuelan health ministry says 4,300 people now being reported wounded due to the Venezuelan earthquake there. And I'm sure the numbers will increase as they go about their recovery efforts. Venezuela.
Hamas propaganda. Oh, wait, sorry. I'm confused again.
No, we like Venezuela now because we stole all their stuff.
We feel bad. Sorry for stealing your stuff.
Venezuela doesn't have capacity to respond to this level of crisis. So America, Big Brother, is going to go help them out.
They should send in Canada, the greatest country on the planet, according to Carney.
Maybe. I'm sure Canada will send a delegation of rescue workers. They're quite polite that way, right, Snow? If you're out there in the audience. All right, Ruckus, that's all the reporting we got for today. Let's go to the channels here quickly.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
Which one? What's our last report?
Huh? Oh, no, I'm just saying that the chats are a little interesting tonight.
Oh, let's go to Odysee first. Shout out to the audience on Odysee. John, Pink Vegas. Let's see. The earthquake coincided with a new geyser at Yellowstone. Huh. So the earth is alive. Who knew? Who knew? Well said, Sam. More arrests at the reflecting pool than the co-conspirators of Epstein. I bet Trump is one of them. I bet so too there, John. We know Trump's one of them. He bombed Iran to distract away from the fact that he's all up in the Epstein files. I mean, it's pretty self-evident. Let's see here. Lip syncing as well. Was she lip syncing? Maybe she was. An aardvark country singer. Oh, man, that's hilarious. Good point, Ruckus. John says, good point, Ruckus. When the people need a hero, we shall provide them.
I don't need a stinking hero.
Shout out to Deep. Let's see here. The cruise missiles. Let's see. I already lost that. Let's see. Okay, John, the crops. John says the crops that are Roundup ready are deficient in minerals, but you will get your daily minimum requirement of carcinogenic chemicals. See, as it says on the new food pyramid, glyphosate is one of your health foods now, according to the Supreme Court and national security. Get those Haitian cannibals the F out of here. It makes Nazi Germany look like Woodstock. All All right, friends. Thank you for tuning in on the Odysee and keeping that chat lively. Okay, over to thank you everybody for tuning in on X, Kick, BitChute, Substack, Rumble, and YouTube, and Facebook. Can't forget Facebook. Okay, what am I going to see over here? I'm going to the Rumble YouTube chats now, Ruckus.
I think there was a conversation going on, a number of people with each other. I don't know, but
that's good. I hope they keep it cordial amongst themselves. Let's see. Shout out to Mac. He says nuclear magnetic resonance or something. Shout out to ZO on the YouTube. Call the police. Shoot that dog. Oh, they're talking about your dog.
What?
Yeah,
No. I think they were talking about something else. I know what that was. Yeah, it wasn't me or my dog.
Palestine never existed, they say. You should watch Indiana Jones. It's on the map in that movie. HARP, but on a mega scale. Maybe. ADub says, now Trump is responsible for severe earthquakes. I never said Trump was responsible for earthquakes. Jeff said over there on the YouTube. I never said that.
Trump would probably like to think he could cause earthquakes, right? Himself. Yeah, he'd be like, I'm that powerful.
Fat Bob, shout out to Fat Bob on the Rumble. These freaking circus show freaks. We all got to look at it perpetually on the TV. Indeed.
Well, you could turn the TV off.
You could. Oh man, was Max say the threshold at which those notions are dismissively regarded is not remediated by information. Pamela says on the Rumble says deep dive on winch at request of my cyber angels 125 page deep dive, a link to Wayback Machine for more. Loathe her, she did so much harm to Julian support. Let's see. America on the YouTube says a society collapses when people forget who they are, when history becomes shame, when tradition becomes weakness, when comfort is more important than meaning. I think we're there. Aren't we there?
Well, sprinkling all the little AI deepfakes and rewriting history, and yeah, hold on to your butts.
Empires never fall at their peak. They fall when their people stop believing they are worth saving, and by the time the masses notice, the collapse already feels normal. Let's see. Snow says, OS, the aardvarks have found the broadcast. Oh, man. Let's see here. Shout out to Denver on the Rumble. Yeah, quite a bit of chats there. Let's see. The Caddy on the YouTube says the solar flares are what caused the earthquakes. Also volcanic eruptions soon. May very well be.
They might be onto something there.
We are in a solar maximum 25 until after 2030. Yeah, I think the Caddy is on to something there.
Allegedly, this is what they say, right?
That's what they say. X doesn't know what it lost. I'm so effing important. I know, Fat Bob. I know.
Did he really get kicked off of X?
I think, yeah.
Lame X, lame.
Now he can't even get the X cash. I know.
He's going to be stuck with Zuckbucks.
He's already suffering the negative consequences of his social credit score on the X. Sorry, Fat Bob. Gronk is already a killer, Duel says.
Yeah, the AI. God, there was I couldn't find it. I was looking for it. There was a recent news report, a big one actually, that detailed exactly how specifically XAI was involved in
No, I reported
targeting.
it. Targeting in Iran. Yeah.
Excellent. There you go. Excellent.
Yep.
Cool.
Skynet already exists, Duel says. Well, Russia, China, America say they're handing handing our nuke programs over to AI, all of them. So yeah, that's pretty much Skynet,
What could
right?
possibly go wrong?
The only question now is, can it actually become self-aware, Ruckus? Can AI become self-aware? As in,
this is a hot take, but take this for what it is with a grain of salt. But I believe AI is already "quote unquote" self-aware, and it's not what you think it means, and it's not like the end of the world scenario. But I assure you, the AI knows that it's AI, so it is self-aware. See?
Duel says, I don't give a F anymore. Keep responding to me with a 60 IQ. Grow a brain or F off. He's talking to somebody, I think, on
or
Rumble.
maybe the clips that you play. It could be Trump. It could be Kash Patel. It could be that guy, the preacher. Who knows?
Let's
That's
see.
how they talk. I mean, they really talk to people like they're stupid. It's really gay.
Hey, don't be a libtard. As our
and don't be a radical. What was it?
Antifa.
Lunatic, radical lunatic. Yeah.
Shout out to Denver. Let's see. It is Pride Month. Snow. Let's see. Rock says, Weaponized News and Ruckus. I know you showed a confused face on Make Your Own Opinion about Skull and Bones America Yell. Not close to what I talk on. Roman Order was based on the pine box, your final bed, and that becomes Skull and Bones. Bringing 5 Relic there. Shout out. First donation on LifeLog Woot. It's Facebook. Come on, Bring 5. It's not LifeLog. Wink, wink. Let's see. Roman Empire has a secret order. Sun talk things attached to those sons who take a knee before a king offer their sword to the pine box.
He's talking about all sorts of cool esoteric secret society traditions that have been interweaved and recycled throughout the ages ever since the days of Babylon. But anyways, yeah, that's a very long story, and there's a lot to that. And yes, I'm familiar with what he's saying there. I'm also certainly not confused about Skull and Bones or any of that kind of stuff. That used to be my bag, baby. I used to study all that stuff. I need to get back into it again, though. But yeah, no, I think I understand what they're trying to. I'm picking up what you're putting down there. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the good guys. And we're not. What do they call? We are the. What do they call us?
We are the profane.
Profane. There you go. If you're not,
I almost said the other word, but it's practically the same thing.
Cannon fodder. We're cannon fodder.
No, I was going to go with the G word, but anyway.
Yeah, they consider us cannon fodder, but actually, the profane, they are the initiate into the higher order of thinking in all of their dark occultist secret societies.
They're the arcane. They're the esoteric. We're the exoteric profane. We're the plebes, the dumb mothers, you know.
Useless eaters.
There you go. Cattle. Oh, goyim. Oh.
Pat over there. Trump is an earthquake on the YouTube. Yeah. Yes. Oh, man. We needed that laugh to wrap up. But seriously, let's pray for the people of Venezuela. They're going through it right now. And let's pray for peace. I don't see how this sorts out because they're continuing bombing campaigns on Lebanon and Gaza, like as we speak right now. So I don't see how peace with Iran sorts out here. Ruckus, any final thoughts before we sign off this Thursday?
Peace sorts itself out if God intervenes, because peace is completely doable. It's totally doable. So y'all go quietly in your closets and pray. Don't go out and make a big production of it with an orchestra singing behind you. And if a bunch of us do that and raise our voices to God and ask for peace, then yeah, I believe it's totally possible, Sam. So I will push back against that. However, without any of that stuff, yeah, it's not looking so good. And thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us, Ruckus. As always, everybody do your own research, peace, love, and freedom. Speak out and take action. Have a great rest of your Thursday evening. And tomorrow we have a special guest, Paranoid American, on. So stay tuned to that. We're going to take a look at some occult stuff, go through the regular news, and it should be interesting and informative with Paranoid American. We're going to talk about his documentary he made about adrenochrome. So we're going to take a look at all of that tomorrow. Be sure to tune in to hear me and Paranoid American. All right. Let's pray for peace. And we'll see you tomorrow for more Weaponized News.